Hey, Cameron Brown here again, here with the lovely Alice Haemmerle. How you doing?
Very well, Cameron. How you going?
Fantastic. It was so good today. It's a beautiful day outside. You can't see it on the video, but it is. It's absolutely stunning outside. So what today I would love to go through with you is goals. So many people maybe think that it don't work, or haven't gotten the results that they're after, or they're not clear enough, and there's all these things that go on with goals that people just go, I don't know about that, and maybe New Year's resolutions is one thing.
Yes.
If we can talk about that, that would be fantastic.
Yes.
What are goals?
Yes.
What are a way of getting goals right so that you can actually get the results that you're after?
This is a great question.
Yeah.
Great question. So every year people do. They set the New Year's resolutions to say, this year I'm going to do this, this, this. And about 3 weeks into it, or 2 weeks into it,
2 or 3 weeks usually.
It's stop, because they're running the old strategy again. Okay. Now, your goals are strategies. Your goals are what you focus on at any moment. So for each of you already today, in order for you to turn on your computer, clicked on the video, focused on listening to the video.
Seeing Alice's beautiful face.
Oh, you're very divine.
Yes.
There are goals you had to do to make this happen.
Yep.
So the little micro goals for the macro goal. So the goal would have been, maybe you were looking and typing up what is NLP. Yeah? That's your outcome. To get to that, though, you had to do little steps to make that happen. So you had to know how to type in the information. That's a goal. You had to know to go to YouTube. That's a goal. Yeah. So there were certain things that needed to happen. Everything we do in our mind, in our brain, is a goal. Our mind is a goal-setting machine. It doesn't know anything else but to do that. The thing is if you don't understand how to set the goals, your mind's going to go for whatever you're focusing on at that time.
And most of the time, if I can add, most of the time, most of the people, when I ask somebody what they want, they'll come back and say, well, I don't want this, and I don't want this, and I don't want this. It's like, well, I didn't ask that question. I said, what do you want?
Yes.
And people find it so difficult to answer. It's unreal.
Yeah.
So it's focusing on what they don't want. So I guess what you're saying there is, if you don't have a clear outcome of where you're actually wanting to go, then by focusing on what you don't want, that's going to that's what you're going to get instead.
Exactly, because your mind is always focusing on what you're telling it to do. So if you ask a little child, for instance, what do you want to have? A little child, between about 3 to 6 years old, depending upon how they've been parented, depending upon how open the parents have been to allow the child to explore. If the child, you say to the child, what do you want? The child would say, I want this. And they'll be very open to say what they want. They'll go and they'll do the things they want to do. But the more that's shut down, the more that, you can't have what you want. I'll tell you what you should have. I'll tell you how you should feel. I'll tell you what you should, because I'm older. Yes?
I know more.
I know more, The more the ability for the human being to dream, to fantasize, to create, gets shut down. So when you ask somebody what do they want, the reason to say, well, I don't want this, and I don't want that, and I don't want this, and I don't want that, is because they actually don't want what they've been modeling. They don't know what they do want because they haven't had the opportunity to dream, to imagine something else. Can you imagine the world without Walt Disney? Now, Walt Disney was an absolute visionary. Can you imagine the world without Steve Jobs? An absolute visionary. The world without Richard Branson. Visionaries. And they were dreamers who created, based on goals, incredible experiences. Not just products, experiences.
Yes.
They're all experiences. And so, but the reason they were able to do that is because they never lost their ability to dream. And dreams are goals. So when someone doesn't know what they want, their dreaming strategy has actually been shut down. When someone does know what they want, they're able to imagine their future, and their dreams are still there.
So, something that just there, I think what would be really valuable is, how do we go from here to here?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
One of the things that I recommend for people to do is I recommend that they go ahead and they say, okay, so if I were to start again, if I were to wave a magic wand, if I were to create my ideal day, that when I wake up in the morning, I'm with the people I love, doing the things I love to do, earning money from it, from our passions, yes? Because you can, absolutely. Living that day. So starting with that end in mind.
Yeah.
So starting with I need to take a fresh, clean piece of paper, go outside on a beautiful day, and really just write down my ideal day. Not my ideal life, my ideal day. And you start with this micro that will eventually become the macro, the big picture. Then you can create your ideal life, because your ideal day is a journey to the ideal life. It's never the destination, it's the journey.
It's the journey that you're on.
And the journey needs to be extraordinary. So that's how you set your goals. So what would make today an extraordinary day for you? What would make today an exceptional day? So you start off with an intention that when you end your day today and your head's upon the pillow, what have you learned? How have you grown? Who have you connected with? Yes? How have you contributed to someone else?
Yeah.
How have you added value to someone else? And how have you loved?
Nice.
And if you look at that, and you do that throughout the day, not just how have you loved someone else, but how have you also loved yourself?
Yeah.
How have you taken care of yourself? How have you nurtured yourself? What have you done for you? So that your energy, that your health is there to be able to also be able to serve.
If we go back to as well, so that's all the things that the outcome that you've gotten from the day. How do we go about? Because I mean, all the hustle and bustle throughout the day comes about, and you know, things happen, things come up, kids do whatever, and whatever else it is. How do we make sure that we stay on track? Like maybe we've got that ideal day, but there's all this other stuff that goes on. So maybe
I think making your ideal day so it's an absolute. When things come in the way, what happens is it creates a chaos.
Yeah.
And what it really ultimately is saying is, you know what? Having my ideal day, I'm not worth having that. Other people's needs are more important than mine. So it's starting first with saying yes to you.
Nice.
And in saying yes to you, then you can say yes to others. Versus saying yes to others, because think about it, the reason you say yes to others is because as a child, you weren't allowed to say yes to you. You were taught as a kid, some, not everyone, many people were taught as children, in order for my mom and dad to be happy, I have to do what they want. Right? So I can't say yes to me, I have to say yes to them. Let's switch it. If I said yes to me, what would that give my kids? Wouldn't that give my kids the opportunity to say yes to themselves? Wouldn't that allow our children to believe in themselves? As I believe in myself, as I feel that true value, yes? Isn't that a projection then to my kids that they have the permission to do the same? So you then perpetuate a marvelous new way of growth and opportunities and potential.
Nice.
From generation to generation.
So we've gone from where, focusing on what we don't want, which is what I asked before, which is fantastic. We've gone from what we don't want right over to what we do want. How do we actually set the goal?
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So first thing is, you need to say, okay, do I know anyone who has an outcome that I want? Okay, so it goes back to modeling excellence. Okay, how would they set this goal? Yeah, what would be an outcome that they would create? So if you're going to, I'm going to go to athletes because it's the simplest.
It is.
It's a very clear outcome. Whenever there's an Olympic Games going, okay, it's an ideal or a world championship. Let's take swimming. Okay, so you had Michael Phelps. He wanted to get more gold medals than any other gold medalist in history, right? But in order for him to know how many gold medals he needed to get, he had to compare it to somebody else who'd gotten the gold medals before, right? He had to know the times that he needed to get to surpass it. He needed to know as well the outcome that, and what it would mean for him to become that Olympic champion, okay? Now, that's step one. So what's it going to mean for you? What's your why? What's it going to give you, okay? 2, do you know anyone who's gotten that result or better?
Yes.
Or so that you can surpass it. So once you match it, you can now go beyond it. And 3, then you need to see yourself getting the goal. So this is what you do. So you just close your eyes, or you're going to open your eyes. It doesn't matter. And you're going to imagine, using your imagination, see yourself achieving this goal. So looking through your eyes, what are you seeing? And create a real movie out of it, or put it in color. Notice who's around you, or are you on your own there? What are you saying to yourself? What are you hearing around you? And the feeling as you achieve this goal. Notice the physiology that you feel. Notice the emotions that you feel as you've achieved this goal. So we call this in NLP an associated state. So you create a reality You create a reality. Now, the thing is
It's
that
really good.
It's
Oh,
really
there.
good. Yeah. But now we're going to do one more step.
Yep.
Okay? And this is what's really important in goal setting. Because reality is what's happening in front of you right now. So you're looking through your own eyes at the world right now, right? So you've just created the goal. You created the goal with that reality as if it has happened. So go back to the as if it's happened, looking through your own eyes. Really good. See what you're seeing and really hear the external sounds and what you're saying to yourself, and turn up the volume a little bit more. Yeah, good. And the feeling, yes, excellent. Increase the feeling, spin it a bit more. Yes, yes, yes. Now we're going to do the next step, and this is what is very important. And this is what NLP brought to the fore, goal setting. Because remember, goal setting, everything about NLP is modeling excellence and finding a strategy that works in how we do what we do. So NLP has decoded this. Now, the next step is the key to goal setting. So you've created the reality, yes? Looking through your own eyes right now. Yeah, yeah, you're liking that. Now I want you to do something. I want you to see yourself achieving this goal. See it. So become the observer. So you can, good. So you're seeing yourself achieve this goal. How's it feel?
Fantastic.
Good. Notice you're seeing yourself. Good. Go out to the future there. Just see yourself at that exact time, that place, that location. Yes? And just see yourself right there. Good. Lock it in. And come all the way back to now. And as you come back to now, this is great. As you come back to now, Cameron, just notice the steps you took, the education, how you educate. You needed to learn new things to be able to achieve this goal. Yeah? What was your attitude? What did you believe to achieve this goal? And what do you believe? Yes? Who did you surround yourself by? What was the environment that you had that supported the goal happening? And not just the environment of your physical environment, what was the support system of people around you as well? And how did you maintain your health? How did you increase it as well to be able to achieve this goal? And as you come back to now, just notice the very first thing, the first thing you do to achieve the goal. What's the decision you're making right now?
It's phone calls to be made.
The phone calls to be made. And you're specific on who those phone calls are.
Yes.
Absolutely. And you're clear on the outcome of those phone calls.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool? And that's how you do
fantastic.
it.
Fantastic. Yeah. I've done it before, but that was phenomenal to be able to do that again. To be able to learn that and to be able to give that as a gift to someone is a phenomenal thing to do. So thank you for that.
My pleasure.
It's awesome. I feel great.
And just know this is how you set goals all the time. You know, and to think, so you create it as real, real, and you bring it to life.
Yes.
Then you must see yourself. And the seeing yourself is just like this, guys. Imagine what you're going to be doing later on today. Imagine, and you'll see yourself in that scenario. Okay? So it's what you naturally do. What NLP does is it shows you the how you naturally do. Because unless you're aware of how you're doing it, you can't replicate it.
Yeah.
You just kind of be going with it. So this is the beauty. So you're going to look through your own eyes, make it really real. Get yourself totally pumped up. See what you're seeing, hear what you're hearing, really get the feelings. Make it real, 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 really the way you want it. Like, and then you're going to step out. So you see yourself, and then come all the way back to now. And notice all the steps you took.
Nice.
And that's how you plan.
And that is a much more advanced and beautiful way of setting goals. It's not just the mundane way of, oh yeah, I want to quit smoking this year, or I need to lose 15 kilos within the next few months, and then within a couple of weeks it just ends up just falling by the wayside.
That's right.
This way, it's going from, rather than what you don't want, focusing on what you do want, creating that beautiful image, that colour and life to that, and then working out the exact steps that are needed. And it's not necessarily just those big goals. It's on a daily basis, even an hourly basis.
That's right.
You're able to do that constantly because you're going to be setting goals, like you mentioned at the start. We are goal-setting machines. You're going to set goals regardless. So you might as well make the goals what you want rather than what you don't want.
And know how to make them stick. And allow you really to get that outcome every time. Right.
Well, that went somewhere we didn't know it was going to go. It was fantastic. I trust that's been valuable again. Leave some comments below. Love to hear what you think, and we'll be in touch soon.
Thanks.